Hey, so Chris and I have an announcement to make at the end of this episode, so keep watching.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Kristin Finger!
Kevin,
We're back!
we're back, baby! And we're only back for one reason. Tyler
Hynes.
Hynes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We watched Sweet Carolina. And one question, Kevin, it's been a week since I watched it.
Yeah.
Did they once play Sweet Caroline?
No. Nope.
I thought missed opportunity.
Is it? It's a very expensive song.
Oh,
Neil
okay.
Diamond, the great Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
But he wrote the song Sweet Caroline about Caroline Kennedy, but Caroline Kennedy was a kid when he wrote it, and it makes that song very creepy and weird. So as far as you can, and I love Neil Diamond, but as far as you can distance yourself from that song unless you're a Boston Red Sox fan, is probably.
Oh, I see. So we should stop seeing it at weddings. Okay.
Yes, for certain. Again, unless you're in Boston. So, in which case, there are other songs you probably should stop singing.
All right. Well, that's fair. Well done, Hallmark. Another well done on hiring Tyler Hynes just to literally glide into a movie. I mean, I don't even think we need to get into the plot of this. I just prefer talking about Tyler's performance.
We have marketing executive Josie, as played by Lacey Chabert, who I always refer to Kristin as Jennifer Love Hewitt. So if I say that, you know who I'm talking about.
It's different. It's Lacey Chabert.
But she returns home when she becomes the unexpected guardian of her niece and nephew. Kristin, why would she become a guardian?
Because she's of the galaxy. Because she...
I like it. Nice Marvel reference. Hold that. We will have an announcement at the end of this show.
Why would she become a guardian? Because her sister and brother died in a terrible car crash.
We had a double dead parent alert in one movie. I was very happy. Listen, I wasn't happy that anyone died, but Hallmark also broke its rule, kind of unwritten rule of they actually killed them in the movie. It wasn't like he was called and came home and we met the sister, we met the brother-in-law, and then it happened. And it's like, oh my God, we were connected with them and they're dead.
You know when you know people are going to die in a movie and then they do, and you're still just as upset as if you didn't know they were. Literally, Kevin, anytime I watch...
These birds are freaking out over the death in a Hallmark movie. They're ravens. They're predicting nevermore.
I remember the first time I watched Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor's character literally says, "The love of my life died" at the top of the movie. And then...
Yeah. In the beginning of American Beauty, Kevin Spacey says that he dies. And when you see the movie years ago in 96, you're like, oh, now you're like, that's fine. I'm okay with it.
But
speaking of butts,
Tyler Hynes' butt. So Tyler, stand up straight. His performance, you're at a wake, right? And you're feeling down. And then suddenly you simply look over and a man in a perfectly fitted suit with a perfectly fitted, crisp, white shirt glides over to you.
we're going to cut through all the BS. Did you have a hard time believing that he was goofy in high school? Because that's what we were told, is he was kind of goofy in high school. I think that not Jennifer Love Hewitt's mother says he was cute in high school. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell is he now?
Yeah. Like, Mom, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was a goof. I think it's interesting, though, because they played him off to be a jock. And I don't really see that. I feel like I could picture his young Coop he happens to be really good at basketball, but he's also just super chill and a cool dude, which is why, because like Lacey doesn't seem like she was one of those like mean girls in high school that dated a jock. So I think that's how they found each other.
Yeah. So, but you're right. I mean, he was. See, they play it up. He was a basketball player. He missed this important basket that's always kind of stuck with him. But the thing I really liked was Hallmark always has these like heavy storylines. Yes, this guy hasn't. He's an ex-fiance. But it felt like she left him. She went on a business trip, came home, and was like, I love someone else. And he was like, and he said he was bummed for a few weeks. But it was just very realistic of this guy being kind of cool. And you're like, yeah, it didn't really faze him. He wasn't like downtrodden and sad and mopey.
I absolutely loved, like, the main plot was not about their romance. Right. So the main plot was about, which was quite lovely, of this woman and her family figuring out the aftermath of two folks dying in their family. And Coop was there as support.
Absolutely. And unfaltering support, because there was a point, and it felt like from a first draft anyhow, there was a point where Josie's brother, Jeff, who was not one of the people in the car accident, is not super into believing that his sister can take care of these two kids. And it's like, all right, Jeff, cool your roles, and he has roles because he becomes a baker. But her dad is, and I know we don't like to curse on the show, but he's just a dick. Like,
he's a dick. I think I texted you that, where I was like, this dad is a dick.
Yeah.
Like, believe in your daughter.
Yeah.
Give her a chance, let alone many chances that could necessitate an entire lifetime of
gun racks
in your daughter.
I thought you were going Wayne's World. I thought you were going Wayne's World. Yeah.
I was, but I was just using it as a platform.
You had to come back in. Yeah, it did. It felt like early scripting, and they didn't, cut it out once they kind of developed what they were going to do. And there is a scene where he even said, like, he never visited her in New York because it was so hard to say goodbye, and I always believed in you, and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't doubt that he believed in her in, like, a business sense, but it reeked of, like, 80s, not that there isn't awful, abhorrent sexism now, but this was, like, old school 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Like, this is a huge step back, Hallmark.
Well, and I also assumed, because the brother had some secrets going on the entire time, I was very excited that I thought they were going to make him perhaps a queer character, and he wasn't quite sure how to tell his family, particularly during this moment. But I will accept that he may not be queer.
He's a baker. He's a baker. Yeah.
He's a baker.
But if you do the baker, what is it? The butcher, baker, and candlestick maker. The baker is, I would imagine, the character who is most often vilified within society.
Interesting. Hallmark dug deep on this one. So many deep cuts. No. The lovely scene that I believe that our delightful Tyler Hynes improvised through a lot of, and you and I as improvisers, was, I did a little research, don't worry about it, was the scene where she thought he was proposing to her.
Yeah.
That was a lot of improv, which is just lovely.
Yeah. What did you think was happening in that scene, Kristin? You personally?
I knew she thought that, but I didn't know what he was going to ask her.
I don't know that they ever actually said what he was going to ask her.
He wanted to borrow her dad's
van. Yeah. But like, I knew when he picked up that ring, because, which is also, what a crappy jeweler. Like, it's a small town.
Yeah.
And like, we know that Tyler Hynes, when Cooper rather proposed to his fiance that it didn't work out with, it was a grand gesture. That's what they said. There was a grand gesture. So the jeweler, when Josie goes in, and I'm sure that Aubrey and Shannon, our mystery solvers who hate all things charm bracelets, were just hating this in the movie.
They're like, not a jeweler.
Josie found a charm bracelet she had given to her sister, and she decides she's going to take it and basically steal it back from a dead person. So there's like weird grave robbery going on, and give it to her niece with an updated basketball jewel on it, since she plays basketball and Coop's her coach. And when she goes to the jeweler goes, "Oh, did you know Coach Cooper was in here? He picked up an engagement ring. I guess there's a grand gesture in the works." I'm thinking, this ass is really giving it away. Like
He's literally like, he's the harbinger in horror movies where he's like, well, if you take that path, I'll give you all the reasons you're going to be killed.
Don't ever tell the jeweler a secret, because unless you need, if it's that situation where it's like, I want this girl to know I like her, let me tell the jeweler and then she'll know.
But like, I didn't understand that the jeweler had to have clearly known that it wasn't for Coop. So why would he say that? Well, Coop just came in.
Right. Cooper was buying it for, I believe the character's name, if I'm not mistaken, I think was Marcus. And if it wasn't, my wife Julie and I called him Marcus the entire time. We only saw him like once or twice.
I think you're right. Also, his fiance, the worst.
You know who she was? It was Mark Blucas, his girlfriend from the Marion Bright, who we even said, like, they treated her like she's this Asian character, and they treat her very, I mean, it's a negative even term to use, but like the dragon lady, and it was like, they did it again, same actor, and I was like, you guys suck, man.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to that actress, and like, maybe she loves that character, because if I got to play that over and over again, I'd love it.
Maybe, but I also hope she's paid very well. I know she's not at Hallmark, but I hope she's paid very well.
Right. Kevin, should we break it down into Hallmark's, not holiday, heartthrob hunk countdown?
You might notice that opening looked a lot like the Valentine's one, because I'm doing as little editing in this as humanly possible. So if you're like, that looked like a Valentine's Day thing, you would be correct.
Hallmark holiday hunks. That's what it was. We're going to talk about, of course, the reason we're here, and the reason my uterus is always on fire is Tyler Hynes.
Yeah, I would actually say try some cranberry juice. That might help.
Thank you so much. That's a hot tip. Kevin, 1 out of 10, I don't know, it can't be mistletoes. 1 out of 10 tulips.
Whatever was in there at Valentine's, it's the upside down heart. I think it's a Heine. I think we called them Heine.
Oh, 1 out of 10 Heinies. Hashtag Heinies. What do you give Tyler Hynes in this film?
Listen, I'm not even going to break it down too much. I'm going to quickly say a 10, and here's why. Obviously, it's Tyler Hynes, but I really like the fact that they didn't do the angsty character with him, that, he, like Kristin said, he was there to support Josie, to support Lacey Chabert's character, and from the first time you saw him, he was super supportive, and they didn't do a dumb miscommunication other than the wedding ring thing, which was kind of endearing because she thought he was, even they dated in high school, and they reconnect for like 4 days, and she thought he was proposing to her, which is kind of cute. So,
a 10. That's great. 10 Heinies. I mean, Kristin gives him a 10,000 Heinies. Now, the reason I added the 1,000 Heinies is because they put him in some sweet jogger sweatpants during this.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think that's very present in a lot of the holiday films, because it's like chilly times and they're in a lot of pants and khakis and stuff. But a man in a pair of cropped fitted joggers that fit well, thank you so much.
Yeah. My man is buff. My man's in good shape. So, yeah.
Woo! And I don't ever deny anyone a fitted white t-shirt a 10. Never.
I do recall Andrew Walker wearing a fitted white t-shirt. Oh, t-shirt. I'm sorry. That was a crisp white.
Yeah, button. I need the buttons. I need, he still gets a 10,000, but I don't know if I loved how long his hair was.
Yeah, he still had like non-COVID cut. Like he hadn't cut his hair, but I almost wonder if it isn't for another part.
I think it is.
Situation. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he also, himself, thank you, Tyler, for being existing. I think he might like it a little bit longer personally himself. So if Hallmark is down with it, but I think they just put it down too much.
Then that's it. It wasn't wavy. There was a slight, and there was a slight grease factor, a la like Ian Bailey.
Right.
Where it was like, but it was okay. I'm reserving the right to make the decision on the next Tyler Hynes movie. If it's still like that, we might have to send my man some
We might have to. I think so. I mean, it literally was like this figure, like he moved and nothing moved.
And the more I look at that figure, the less I think he looks like Tyler Hynes. He kind of has like a Ben Schwartz look to him, which is also totally fine. I love me some Benny Schwa.
Yeah. So I give him 10. I mean, doy. But yeah, Tyler, maybe get a trim or tell them to just let your hair, like, let it be. Don't put as much product. As an ex-hairstylist, just don't put as much product.
Is that going to be the next movie, Let It Be? He's just doing like famous song title movies now?
Yes.
Sweet Caroline, Let It Be. Yep.
Woo.
Baby Got Back.
But in his Insta, not that I stalk him on Instagram, his hair's looser and he lets it fly.
Yeah.
I like that.
So there you have it. This movie, I do recommend it. It was a fun one. Yes, there is a double.
It was a fun one.
It was. It's hard to say that when there's double parent death in it, but
guys, what a hoot this was. It was great to meet the parents and then watch them die and watch the kids suffer.
Yeah, we have yet to get actually see them die. That's coming up. That's sweeps. They're going to do that in sweeps.
Oh, God.
Coming soon.
It was. All right. It was a fun one.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be tougher to find it now. I don't know how Hallmark runs their movies in the non-Christmas times of year. If you can find Sweet Caroline, give it a shot. If not, so be it.
Sweet Carolina.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
You want?
So listen, I said at the beginning of this episode with this exact sunlight, because I just said it and I moved it to the front of the episode, that Chris and I have an announcement to make here at the end of the episode. If you recall, our last movie that we reviewed, which was the Tyler Hynes Valentine's Day movie called, Chris, what was it called? Do you remember?
It was always you.
I was going to say Hearts of Hynes, but yours is not as good. Let's be honest. Hearts of Hynes. Yeah, so in the last Hearts of Hynes saga, I may have said that we'll come back and do something. Well, here's a clip.
We did it! We
did it!
And we'll be back again in, I don't know, July. We'll come back and do something low-key. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll come back and do something low-key. I don't know.
So I said we'll do something low-key, right? So, Chris, did you notice the shirt that I'm wearing?
Kevin, did you notice the shirt I'm wearing?
Chris, did you notice this sweet frisbee I happen to have off
Kevin,
camera?
did you notice the two?
Yes! So we are going to change up Remark. So we can remark on anything at all. It doesn't have to be Hallmark just because it's got the word mark in it. Therefore, Kristin and I, starting on June 10th, so the Thursday after episodes of Loki air on Disney+, we will be doing a live show on Wizard World's Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube channels. You can also watch it right here on our Remark channel. The great Mike Gregoric will be running this whole thing for us, and you will see Chris and I breaking down every single episode of the Disney Plus series Loki.
Kevin, I don't understand. You know when people are like, I won the lottery.
Yeah.
My life is great. This was my lottery.
Yeah, it was mine too, because Mike Gregoric is a saint, and I was going to edit all this stuff, and Mike goes, why don't we do it live for Wizard World? And I said, better idea.
That's right. So you have 2 weeks to catch up on all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you're simply just a Hallmark fan, you have time. You could watch them all, or you could watch all of the Thors and Avengers. But yeah, 7 p.m. live.
Yeah, so check that out. Bookmark it. Come back. We'll put out some other teasers and stuff before then. There are 6 episodes. It'll be 6 weeks that you will have Chris, myself, and every iteration of Tom Hiddleston we can possibly find.
There's so many. There's so many. And don't worry about it. For folks that are a fan of our Hallmark holiday hunk, there's going to be Tom is the most gorgeous human in the world segment.
But is he better looking than Owen Wilson? Tune in and find out. Kristin, real fast before we end here, who would you rather be on a deserted island with? Tom Hiddleston or Tyler Hynes? Ah, you can't have them both.
Why not? Oh, Kevin, you can't ask me that question. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them both on the island, and I would just watch.
That is literally your fantasy island.
Yes.
Yeah.
My love for Tom is longer.
Has existed longer.
Has existed longer. So I know too much about Tom. So maybe I'd spend a week with Tyler so I can learn more.
Do you get two islands? You have a Tom Island and a Tyler Island?
Yeah, and I have like a little a little boat that just goes back and forth.
Your dinghy. You take your dinghy back and forth to your TT Islands.
I'll be back, Tom. Tyler, ahoy!
So you can learn all about the TT Islands if you tune in to Wizard World's Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch Live, starting June 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, running for 6 consecutive weeks. And after that, who knows?
Let us know what else you want us to remark, because Kevin's got time.
Hey, if Mike's going to let us do it live, I'm in.
Yep. Uh-oh. Who's going to make an appearance? But none other than S.H.I.E.L.D. official
Agent Coulson?
Agent Coulson.
Kristin, who would you rather have with you on a deserted island? Tom Hiddleston or your cat? Cover the ears. We'll see you in June.
In June.